Hey guys! So while you may not recognize where we are, I was here just over 2 weeks ago. This was where I parked for general admission for the Charlotte Roval race, which was really far away from the track as you can tell. So I just wanted to give you an idea of the distance to get from the parking lot to the racetrack by traveling there in iRacing. Hope you enjoy. So, as we start to get going, we're traveling at around 15 miles per hour, so this is probably a bit faster than walking or even running pace, but definitely doesn't look that fast, but it's gonna take us some time to get to the track, that's for sure. So, we're in this very wide open parking lot, and it's pretty empty, but in real life there was cars parked throughout this whole area, and you can see we're catching up on some stands here, and unfortunately this is not the actual racetrack stands. These are the stands for the ZMAX drag strip. So there wasn't any drag racing going on when we were here, but we did get to see these big stands in this long drag strip, which we'll get a better view of in a second here. But you can see some buildings over to the right. This looks like it's probably closer to downtown, but I don't think that's downtown. We're pretty far away from it, so I'm guessing those are just some like business buildings. I don't really know why the grandstand's like this. You can kind of see underneath. There's like the chairs, but normally you wouldn't be able to see. There should be like this big wall there that's just non-existent. Got some trees here, and as we just turn back, you can see just how far this parking lot goes. It is pretty large, but there's a bunch more over up ahead to the left here. So once we get to the end of this grandstand, we're just going to turn around and get a better view. But we have this building up ahead of us as well, and once everyone ended up parking their cars and they continued on walking, it was a pretty far walk to the track, obviously. So some guys need to go to the restroom. So this basically was just a restroom building, as you'll be able to see in a minute. But yeah, pretty far walk, and all these grandstands for the drag strip are pretty big. They're nothing compared to the actual racetrack, which is way over there. But as you can see, this building, it has the men and women's, and just see nothing inside it, of course. But there we go. See, it's restroom building, and see this is the Z Max drag strip, nicely detailed at the front, and over here, this is the John Force grandstand. So nice to dedicate the grandstands to some famous NHRA racers. See, welcome race fans is basically just the walking path. Over here is just some more parking lots which were filled way before we got there. And over here you can see a nice view of the drag strip. The only thing that's basically missing is like the tree, like the for the lights, and also the wall separating the two lanes. But other than that, looks pretty similar. As we continue to go down here, have some overhead wires here. It looks like it's just some telephone wires. And you can see we got this, in addition to a bunch of people walking down through here, there was also a bunch of like golf carts and stuff like that, often taking, and often a lot of like policemen just directing traffic and people to where to go. So definitely don't really get the idea of how busy this place was with how empty it is, but you can see even more parking over here. It seemed like some of these were like gold lots and some of them were like silver and bronze, and there were different tiers of who could park where. Most of the time the gold lots were smaller, but they were closer, and then general admission was just huge and basically everywhere, but way further back like we were. So you can see over here passing another grandstand. This is of course the Charlotte dirt track, and you got if we just go over here up the stairs, we'll get a nice view of the press box, and we'll be able to see the dirt track. So here it is, and obviously you couldn't really get as good of a view from down over on the walking path. You can see all these different roads leading over to other parking lots, and some of the parking lots were gravel, some of them were just grass, like you can see over here. This was basically a total parking lot. Only thing that basically separated it from the people was just some gates and some like tape and stuff like that, kind of like the stuff that you see around crime scenes, like that yellow tape and whatever. See a nice view of the track through the grandstands and the fence right here. So anyways, as we continue over, we're finally approaching the track after about 4.5 minutes of walking, as we're going a bit faster than walking. Probably would have taken out 5 to 10 minutes. Just going to walk along this road for a minute, and as we get here, the fence on the left side will end, and you can kind of see the remnants of like a crosswalk here. So just going to get across here. And this was one of the entrances for like the earlier gates as we just continue down here. I'd say the bigger entrance was way up ahead, but we're not gonna go over here. There's basically a bridge, and you can see like where this bridge would have been right over here, and it would have just directed us up to this point on the second level. And then as we get to this point, this is basically where everyone would walk on a long flat platform. There would be a bunch of concessions through here, and once you find like your gate, you just walk through here. You'd have the security guard checking your ticket. And as we get through here, you can see we're just at the exit of turn 4. We got the stairs over here, and so we're just gonna head up the stairs. And we are actually pretty close to the exit of the chicane. So just going to get a bit closer here towards the finish line. And as we finally get to our seat after about 5 or 6 minutes of walking, here we are down to our seat. So hope you guys enjoyed the nice tour, and here is what we can see. Exit a turn 4 over to the chicane, looking over, and there you can see the finish line. So that was our view for the race, and hope you guys have a good time if you ever come to Charlotte. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.